Good evening, my wonderful people. Welcome to another edition of Discovery Time. How are we doing? I am so excited. I'm excited to be here once again. I trust all of you have had a wonderful week, wonderful time. And each time I'm just amazed how fast time, is running. It's like, wow, just now, another week. That's to tell us that time waits for no one. Time waits for no one. So whatever we are doing, please keep time because it doesn't wait. It's just running, it's moving, it's going. So don't wait and think you have all the time, and also, don't rush into things so that you don't miss it as well. It is well. Good evening, my wonderful becomers. Welcome to another edition of Discovery Time, where we uncover, unravel, get to know some new stuff, but also get to be reminded of already old stuff that will help us, encourage us, build us up, help us to grow one way or the other. So I'm not here to waste your time at all. We are all here to learn. We learn to grow and we grow to learn. Awesome. Welcome. As you join me, please help me do what we do best. Help me, spread the word, help me tag, help me um call in the Calvary that we are back online. We are live. Discovery time is on. Spread the word, call in the Calvary, and come and let's just have a good time. The topic is brokenness. Ow! We started with it last week. We are still building on our topic foundation. This whole year we are dealing with greatness, and everything is about life. Everything about life is about greatness because we have this we crave to be great. But what does it mean and what does it take? And that's why we are going through all these series. These are all things that have got to do with greatness. These are all things that build us up one way or the other, that we need one way or the other to dwell, not only to achieve, because I don't believe greatness is something you just achieve one time thing and does it. It's a realm and place to dwell. You dwell in it. And so if you want to constantly dwell in greatness, there are some things you really need to know. There are some things you really need to, always be working on so that greatness does not become a one time thing. I was once that, which is good. You have once achieved that, but what are you now? What is your status now? What are you doing now? And it's not in massive things, it's in the small things. Greatness is in the small things. We tend to look too far. We tend to search things or make things difficult for ourselves, while it's in the small victories that makes us great. That all together we build it up and we dwell in that greatness. It's never ending story. There is nothing such as I have arrived. Because as you're arriving, there is another level for you to achieve, another level for you to reach, another level that you can break through. That's why I am of the opinion that the sky is not the limit. We have this popular saying, the sky is the limit. But I am of the opinion that the sky is not the limit. Because even they are making us to understand that there is space, and space is vast. They have not yet finished discovering all that there is in space. So the sky is absolutely not the limit. And so we can continually renew ourselves, continually grow in the things that we know. You can grow in it. No one, I mean, even in your field that you are such an expert, there is still room for improvement. There is still room for growth. And that is what this channel is all about. That is what Discovery Time is all about, to help us, encourage us to, strive on. Don't limit yourself. Don't stay in that limited, you know, situational, limited thinking. Break loose and move on, because the sky is not the limit. Even when you think you have achieved, look, Elon Musk, I mean, he is the richest man now, yet he's still busy with making new things. He's still busy. He's not relaxing saying, I've made it. No, he still wants to achieve things, even going to space. It is well. It is really well. Good evening. You are all welcome. Welcome once again to Discovery Time. Please help me call in the Calvary, help me spread the word, and let's dive in. Let's dive in into this session of Discovery Time. We are going to still deal with the topic brokenness. Brokenness. Last week, we said we dealt with brokenness from the emotional aspect of it. You know, when we are hurt, what brokenness does to us. Um, there is so many things, so much about brokenness. You know, we can take it from different angles, but it still comes to the same. How should I put it? It brokenness it has a way of making us or breaking us, whether emotional, financial, spiritual, whatever way we want to take the brokenness, it still comes to that, the making or the breaking, the building of character or the dismantling, or realizing there is no character. Brokenness is so important. Good evening, Lydia. You are welcome. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, my dear. How are you? I trust your week has been fine. Please help me call in the all fine by His grace. We are all fine. Everything is moving well. To the glory of God. Thank you. And yours and your family? Mhm. So, brokenness is such an important topic because last week, when we were dealing with brokenness on emotional, from the emotional angle, people were like, yeah, you feel the pain, you get hurt, you when people disappoint you, it's painful. When someone you love and cared for so much, breaks your heart, we thank God, Lydia. That's awesome. When someone you love so much, breaks your heart, it's painful. When that friend that you thought was your paddy paddy, your bestie turn against you, it's painful. That's what they call a stab in the back. It's very painful. But we still have the strength to overcome all these things. And in a way, those things have a way of, it has a way of shaping us. Some become optimistic and still see life like, yes, okay, someone hurt me, fine, but I'm still going to move on and I still see the positive things in life. While others become very, very pessimistic and very, very cynical. They become very, very wrought, bitter, because they continue to dwell in that pain. And so that pain, from they move from that pain and also react to things from that pain. That is the power of when someone breaks you. The state of brokenness. Thank you very much, Lydia. God bless you. The state of brokenness requires deeper understanding into brokenness. It requires, also wisdom. Because if you are at that, let's just take the emotional aspect of it, the emotional pain. If you are in that state, if you are in that state of brokenness, someone has hurt you, you feel the pain, you feel like the world is, just you can't, because you are heartbroken, or you go into a new relationship, whether friendship, normal friendship or romantic relationship. If you go into that relationship with that kind of pain, you are actually hijacking that relationship before you even get a good start. Why? Because you are in it with a different mindset, you are in it with a different um, view. And so, no matter what the other will do, you already have in the back of your mind, well, this one will one day disappoint me anyway. So, you are not in there with your full, you are not surrounding everything, you are not giving everything, you are still holding back, keeping up a shield. Why? You don't want to be hurt again, right? So, that is the how brokenness can make some of us react, can make some of us behave. It shapes you in a way that you either become really overprotective in some cases, oversensitive, sometimes paranoid. Paranoid because you're like, what is this one up to? You are looking to everyone with one eye, like, I don't trust this one so much. I'm looking at you with one eye because you are coming and I'm seeing you, but I don't trust you. While to others, yes, when you take the time and you are able to take in the pain and analyze and realize, well, that was the case for that person or that situation, I let go and I emerge stronger and deal with, life. Brokenness is something that we cannot do without. I wrote something, I said, it is not something to desire. We don't desire it, but it is necessary. Someone will call me crazy by saying, how? How can brokenness be necessary? But brokenness is necessary. It is not desired, though. No one, I mean, who will wish to have, like, we are still dealing with just on the emotional um pain, the emotional brokenness. No one will wish to have pain. No one will wish to, be devastated. Or when you lose someone you love so much, you don't wish that to anyone, and you don't want that. But the process helps us. It shapes us. That's what builds your character. That is what makes you emerge a stronger version than yourself. Good evening, Bisola. You are welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you so much. How are you and the family? Good evening, Blessing. You are welcome. How are you doing? Nice to see you all. You are welcome. Please help to tag, help to spread, calling the Calvary. Good evening, Sister Amanda. You are welcome, my dear. God bless you. You are all welcome. Yes. Happy to see you, Blessing. I'm really happy to see you. Thanks for joining. So we are still on the topic of brokenness. It's a topic that we can continue to dwell on. But it's so important that we deal with it because it's still something that builds our foundation. And it's so important. It's so important that we understand the state of brokenness. Because last week we dealt with the emotional aspect. And I'm just taking it back as an example. Why brokenness is not desired but still necessary in this life. You know, challenges brings brokenness. In life, we don't face any challenge. I mean, you feel like everything is moving fine, everything you you actually don't have, how should I put it? You don't have any strength, any um I don't even know the right word to use. It's like everything has been going smoothly for you. So nothing has come across your way that you needed to find solution, that you needed to think, that you needed to stretch your strength, stretch your ability, strength you. Nothing happened to you in that manner. Then life is, come on. I mean, you help me out here. Can you really say that you are living? Yes, you are living, you are breathing, everything is moving fine, and but life, when you go through the experiences that builds you up, when you go through the experience that brings out, the courage, the boldness, the strength, the resilience, the determination in you, the kind of character you actually build, it makes you honestly unstoppable. Why? Because you have gone through fire. You have gone through what we call the refining fire to refine you, to bring out the goodies, to bring out the beauty. You know, so if you don't take time and take the opportunities that challenges brings you to help you move, to help you build yourself up, what it does is it will break you. Those ones that have not faced many challenges, small challenge like this, breaks them. Some small standing block, let me put it this way, any small thing that will come across their way will break them. It will just break them. Why? Because they have not been given from childhood, be given the opportunity of having challenges that will help shaping them, that will help bring out that strength, that resilience they need in life. Because one way or the other, in this life, in this realm, we will all meet challenges one way or the other. How you deal with them, however, is what will determine what we call survival. They say destroy. Sometimes how they measure survival of the fittest is really funny. But if we should be very honest with ourselves, those that survive, those that have higher rates of surviving, are those that have gone through thick and thin and have come out and know what to do. That life is indeed about challenges. Life is, you meet things along the way, and it's not smooth ride. It's not a smooth ride. Nothing is a smooth ride. And so, since it's not a smooth ride, you prepare yourself. Whatever come, okay. It's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging, but we are going to face it. It's difficult, but we are going to face it. Why? The ones that you have built through the challenges you went in the past will help you to go through this one as well. How you handle it, Lydia, absolutely. How you handle it matters a lot. It matters a lot. Some will hide, thinking by hiding, you know, let the storm pass, let me hide. But by hiding, if you don't hide at the right place, the storm will still meet you there. If you are not, if you don't prepare your hiding place well, the storm will break it down. So, in that hiding, there are things you need to actually put in place for you to be able to be safe in your hiding place. Good evening, patients. You're welcome. God bless you. How are you doing? Thank you, Bisola. So, in your hiding place, you still need some qualities, some qualities to help you storm it out as well. Brokenness is something. Hmm. Good evening, dear. Brokenness is something we really, like I said, we don't wish for it. Whether financial brokenness, no one wish for those challenges. No one wish. I mean, whew, let's go. So we have the emotional one, and we know also financial broke. If you are financially broke, it's wahala, it's problem, it's stress. Why? Because especially if you have a family to feed, if you have family to take care of, it becomes a huge problem. You know, and it causes a lot of health issues as well. But one thing I believe this that state of brokenness should be able to do, if you are wise enough to understand that situation, is to help you to look for those areas where you can do to raise money, is to help you to identify some things, some areas that you are good. You yourself, you will realize, "No, I'm good in this. If I try to put in this effort and do that, it might bring me something." Most of the time, because we don't want to take the time, because we don't want to invest even in that brokenness, we look for easy way out, and we think that is the solution. See, the thing about shortcut and easy way out is it will maybe for a short time be satisfy you for a short time, but in the long term you've robbed yourself from a lot of challenge, a lot of opportunities. While others are seeing, good evening, Perpetual, you are welcome. How are you doing? You are welcome, my dear. Thank you. Well, others are seeing in that same situation, in that same challenge, in that same brokenness, while others are seeing opportunities, things that we can do to help to bring something on the table. The other ones are seeing we don't have any choice. We can't do anything. Let's hit the street and be begging. Let's hit anywhere we can hit and be begging, because that is the only option we see. Or start to do, criminal activities. Why? It's easy money. It can solve in a short term some certain issues, but in the long run, the cost of it in the long run is what a lot do not consider. So, yes, how we deal with things matters a lot. Your perspective in life matters a lot. Thank you, Lydia. There is opportunity in every situation, even in that broken financial status that you are in, that state of brokenness, there is opportunity, and that opportunity is left for you to think. Look around you. What are the needs around you? And what can you do to help to solve those needs? There is a need everywhere. Everywhere people have needs one way or the other. And if you're in Africa, you can actually be able to start something easily. It's different when you're in Europe. It's a bit different. But even in Europe, wherever you are, you can start to do something. We have turned to this give me, give me, give me, give me culture that it's not healthy. It's not healthy. Give me can be to help me stand on my feet. But you must have a goal. It's not give me all the time. Oh, give me to help me stand on my feet. Yes. And then you move on. I believe so much in, helping someone how to catch a fish so that they can fish for themselves than all the time giving alms. Why? You don't help anyone with it. In that status of brokenness, in that state of financial brokenness, you don't help anyone with just giving alms. But you help them if you can lead, not only lead to where to catch fish, train. And if someone is willing and prepared, they can catch more fishes. They can catch more fishes. but it is how prepared they are and willing to put in the time, to put in the effort to train themselves to become that. The short term gratification that we seek is what is holding a lot of us back, is what is holding a lot of us bound. That state of brokenness can be your opportunity if you understand it well. Thank you, my dear. That state of brokenness is your opportunity if you understand it and can have the wisdom to use it to your advantage. It will help. We don't desire emotional brokenness, but somehow it's needed to shaping our or build our character. The same way we don't desire financial, but when you things are tight, it's when creativity begins to arise. You begin to see things, how, what, to try to help yourself and make things. Exactly, my dear sister. Now, it depends on what people are ashamed to share their story or to say. It's pride. It's pride, one. But it's also the kind of double standard life that people have built around themselves, the lies that people are living. Because no matter where you are, if you have a need, there is a difference between having a need, or really having a need, and having a want. People have make their wants into needs. No, God will only gives us what we need. Most of the time, when we pray for the wants, we don't get them because that is maybe not what we need. So He will not give all the time. But we have turned our wants into needs. And so we never get satisfied. We are never happy because we continue to want. That's the thing with wanting. We continue to want. And so continually you want. And it seems like you are not getting out of that brokenness or out of that situation because you have exchanged your want with needs. But when you focus on your needs, it's a different ball game altogether. And you will also know the right people to go to help you. If one person say no, I cannot, it's not the end of the world. Truly, maybe that person cannot, not in the way that you are expecting it. So we need to be wise in a lot of things. See, you have problems, but everyone has their own issues. Everyone, whether they are going through emotional turmoil, whether they are going through financial, everyone has their own issue. So you bring in your issue, you should also understand that someone somewhere is maybe going through some things and they might not be able to assist you. Please listen very well to the words I'm using. Assist. When you're assisting someone, you stand near them, you come near them, and you assist them to some certain level. You help them to a certain level. You are not there to solve the whole problem and issues. It's not one person, or sometimes some people think, oh, I share my problem and I'm expecting this person to do this, and they get disappointed again, broken, that A or B did not solve their problems for them. But maybe A or B does not have the solution, but might know someone who might maybe help and refer you to that person. You should not get disappointed. That help, that referral is more than enough. It's more than enough. So sometimes let's stop putting our own problems and burdens on others and expecting them to solve everything for us. But be bold also enough to share your problem. Stop living double standard lives. Let's be honest with ourselves, please. That is where the only way we can get help. And that is the why I said brokenness is so, it's so deep, because it's only in an area of from the depth or place of brokenness you can say I need help. Good evening, Destiny. Good evening, Day. You are welcome. How are you all doing? God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you. Oh, everything is fine, my dear. Thank you so much for asking. We give God the glory. I hope you are all doing fine, your families as well. So, we are still on the topic of brokenness. And I was talking about, how pride can limit us to to reach out for help. But at the same time, it is from that state of brokenness that we have to reach out, because it is in that state you have to admit, I can't do it all. Me by myself, I can't do it all. It is in that state you actually need to reach out and ask for help. And my dear, that entitlement, seriously. And that also is pride. Do it for me. Why? You must. Why? Because. Why? Me, I. It's pride. And that's, some people will say, I don't have pride, though. I don't have pride, though. But let us see when situation arise, how they react. You will see it. You see it surfacing. Pride. So when pride is the opposite of brokenness, pride is the opposite of brokenness. And if some people will be dwelling in brokenness, and this time I'm talking about the financial brokenness, and still be allowing pride to, dictate for them. Some other ones will also be in emotional brokenness and allow pride to dictate for them by saying, I shall never forgive. Allowing pride to, let bitterness take over. It's pride. If you it's pride. You can say, I've been hurt, I've been hurt, I've been hurt. But in the same time, if in that hurt you don't let go, how are you going to be healed? If you say, I'm holding on to it because I don't want that person really hurt me, I don't want to even see that person's face. True. Fine. But who are you actually hurting or harming more? You're forgiving. We've dealt with forgiveness. Forgiving is it's more for yourself than for the other, really. It is more for ourselves. That's why God says we should forgive. It is more for ourselves to save us from unwanted sicknesses. Because by holding on to, the pains, you invite sicknesses, you invite unnecessary problems to your life. So forgiving the other and forgiving yourself is more for you. It's more for you. It's a gift. But most of the time, due to pride, me forgive. Some people talk like that. Me, as in me, forgive. It's pride that makes you talk like that. The hurt is painful, absolutely. But it takes a special grace and a special type of brokenness for you to forgive. And now we are coming to the spiritual brokenness. You know, pride is the opposite of brokenness, right? So we can actually say brokenness is humility, brokenness is meekness, Brokenness is what God requires of us. Isn't it funny? We avoid it. We don't want it. We don't want anything to do with that pain associated with brokenness. But it is in this God requires of us to be able to walk with Him. Good evening, Cecilia. You're welcome. It is in this same brokenness. Yeah, like do yourself of everything that has got to do with me, I, and myself, the real. Lay it down. Whew, difficult. But it is in this state of brokenness that God wants us to walk with us. He said, blessed are the poor. Is he talking about financial poverty? Is it poverty he's talking about there? No, no. Blessed are the meek. Why call them blessed? While some people consider it to be foolishness. So when we are dealing with brokenness, it's so important to deal with it in the whole aspect of it. For us to have the understanding of what it takes. One, it builds your character. If you are willing to allow the process and go through the process, it builds your character. Like the example I used last week with the eagle, willing to go through the painful process of shedding and building new feathers. It's a painful process, but they are willing to go through. Wait, Lydia, let me show your comment. You said, I remember shortly after my mom burial last year, I got 10K support from a gift. Immediately I started selling Zubo drinks and yes, I've said no way. No way she can do this so based on her qualifications. Oh my dear. That's the thing. That's the thing. If you are looking at it's pride. And because of pride, a lot of people are where they are. Again, a lot of people are where they are because of pride. Every opportunity brings, every challenge has brings opportunity in it. But it is in the state of brokenness, Lydia, like you took it upon yourself. You made good use of the support, the assistance that someone gave you. Someone offered an assist. It's not that that person has it. Seriously, my dear people, we are not working on money here. Life is hard. I have to be honest with you guys. Life is hard. If you don't plan yourself well, if you don't live, life is hard. Forget about all this they are doing on social media and so forth. That's the double life people are living. Let's be honest here. And so if someone is helping or giving, don't think these are coming from, no. Or if I'm to talk about my own, I work hard for everything. People that know me knows I am not a lazy person. I work hard for it. So if you are giving it, you are giving it to support, to assist, because you know it will go far. And if someone on the receiving end just make abuse it or think more will be coming or whatsoever, that person is the one that is really destroying their own chances and opportunities. If you don't look very well, you are in a state of brokenness, financial brokenness, and someone is giving you, and you don't think to make good use of that assistance you are getting and think tomorrow another one will come. My dear, it is you that you're hijacking your tomorrow. It is you hijacking your tomorrow because you don't know the state of that person or those people you are depending to receive. You are depending to receive. Do you know their family situations? Good evening, Debbie. You're welcome, my dear. How are you doing? You don't know their family situations. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know if they're on a sick bed or not. But you are expecting and depending on them to be bringing. Let's leave this. Think about if someone has been able to assist you, help you, what are you doing with it? Look, there was a time I heard of a story of one man that became very rich by selling granite. He was a graduate, absolutely. But due to situation, circumstances, things were not moving, things were not going. And someone advised him, "You are welcome, my dear. It's better late than never. Thanks for joining." Someone, he saw what things that were happening around. And so he was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do to start making, small, small money? What can I do? So he saw opportunities, people around, hearing by talking to people, understood that not is not easily, to or people are in need of it. The small money he got, he went to the market, a bit further, bought a lot of granite, came to his area and started selling it. In a short time, it was sold out. He went again, bought now loads. And then he now went not only to the local, he went to where he can get the granules, and started like that. That's how he started his granite business. While someone was in the same area and was like first mocking him, like, why will you be selling granite? Like the example you are giving, Lydia. Why will you be selling granite? But my dear people, in life, life is not about I have my master degree, I have my PhD degree, I have we all have it. I have too. But I don't look at those things. They are just paper. What are you doing? You have them. What are you doing with them? What are they doing for you? Let me put it this way. What are they doing for you? Life is not about, hey, I have reached here. I am this, I am that. Please, let's come of it. Be broken. Be broken. It is from the aspect, the area of brokenness, we can become great. You can never become great in your puff pride state. You can't. Let's be let, let's be real. You have some people you cannot, very small thing, you cannot approach them. I'm sorry to say, but that's the limitation. That's a limit you have put in for yourself. You can't grow beyond that boundary you have set for yourself. Absolutely, Debbie. Life is not all about showcase. What value do you live by? What someone said reputation is or let me put it this way, a good name is also in the Bible. A good name is better than riches. Now, why will God in all his wisdom say that a good name is better than riches? See, where your where your talent cannot take you. Also, someone said, well, reputation is what others think about you. Who you are is who you are. Yes, so it's true. But if what others think about you is not saying or telling the real you, then you are a hypocrite. You're a chameleon. You are a chameleon because you are a day and a different person in the night. You're a chameleon. This one knows you as that, and that one knows you as that. So then, if your reputation that A knows is different from the reputation that B knows, then there is a problem there. Then there is a problem. So if your reputation cannot make way for you, if the moment they mention your name, people just say, please, mm, 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 there is a problem. Absolutely. there is a problem. If someone cannot vouch and say, I stand for this person cannot do A, B, and C. If your character is not saying that, you are not broken. You are not broken. Good evening, Joseph. You are welcome. God bless you. Thanks for joining. It's the first time I'm seeing you here. How are you? Yeah, I can see. Thanks for joining. If your character is not saying or giving you a positive reputation out there, if people are not seeing to be able to talk positively about you or vouch for you one way or the other, you are not broken. You see the state of brokenness. Good evening, Fidelia. You are welcome. How are you doing? Absolutely, my dear. Absolutely, Debbie. Say live life that matter that people won't have doubt when they give you a task. See, one thing I have to be honest with you, there are a lot of people that are afraid to give some people, especially, you just have this fear in your heart about some certain people that, oh, if I give them this task, maybe they'll not be able to do it. Why? Because of one or two things you have heard, or one or two things you have seen in the character. People read, people see. We thank God, Fidelia. You see, most what we don't say speaks volume. How you act, your actions speaks louder than the words. Your action speaks louder than the words that you speak. And that is what people pick on. The body language, we know we speak different languages, but the body language speaks more than we even think. And so people pick on those body languages and they match it to what you're saying, the words you're saying, and be like, I hear, but I see too. And so already there is a perception. And therefore, with perception comes what? What they have seen you do over and over again now becomes what? Reputation. And so based on that, you have a reputation with them through your actions, through your words. You have built a perception in their heart about who you are, and based on that, a reputation. Please, life, this life we are living, you don't know who is who. You don't know who is your destiny helper. You don't know who God has placed in a certain way or place for you. So don't live life anyhow. Don't live life anyhow and don't disrespect people anyhow. Someone might be in a very dark does not mean they're in that situation. You can do something, help them in that brokenness. Help them. If there is any way you can assist, try and assist. Assisting is not taking over the problem. Let's be clear here. Assisting is not taking over the problem. Some people will hang all their problem to you, but you have to be wise to know you are not standing. I always use this how should I put metaphor? A baby crawling cannot stand yet. If you put something at the back of the baby, it becomes very difficult for the baby to even crawl, not to talk of standing. A baby crawls, stand. Good evening, Ify. You are welcome. How are you doing? Stand. You know, yes, Ify, you are late today, but it's okay. Thanks for joining. It's better late than never. You're welcome. Oh. Thanks for joining anyway. And then, even with the standing, they still need help. When a baby needs help to stand, you remove all that help away. You are causing problem. At least there must be, though you want the baby to walk, but there must be what first where they can support themselves, and then gradually start taking steps, and then gradually start walking. It's the same way in life. You cannot be carrying someone at your back when you are still crawling. You can only help, push, or yeah, try. You cannot carry the whole load when you are struggling to stand. You can only try and say, let me see if I can, balance this small one. And if the other ones don't understand you, my dear, you are not doing it to please people. Do it first and foremost to please your maker, because that is what this race called life. I don't see life as a race though. But when it comes to the Christian race, that is what it's all about. People will have their perception about you. And when they are in a state of need, there is always those ones that are going to be ungrateful because you have not been able to solve all their problems. It's not up to you to solve all their problems. Where you can render assistance, you are render, and then what? Remove her. If they remain in their ungratefulness, it's up to them. That is pride in brokenness. Pride in brokenness. How can you be pride in brokenness? But you have a lot of people in that situation, and that's why they remain where they are. I have to be honest. That's why they remain where they are, because of pride. And the pride blindfold them that they are so ungrateful to everything. Again, you cannot be great if you are not broken. Please. We are dealing with the topic, this in greatness. You cannot dwell in greatness if you are not broken. Because the state of brokenness, it is a requirement from God for Him to walk with you, from Him to come and be in you. It is a requirement. Brokenness is a requirement. We have dealt with emotional brokenness. We dealt a bit with financial brokenness. And we are now dealing with the brokenness of all mothers, the spiritual brokenness. The mothers of all brokenness. The mothers of all brokenness, the spiritual brokenness. But if you're spiritually broken on all level, no matter what, yes, challenges will come, but you know what to do, right? Because in that brokenness, you know where to go to. It's not that it's not going to hurt. Absolutely, the pain is real. The hurt is real. None of that is going to become different. It's still going to hurt. But because in that brokenness, you have what? Hope. Good evening, Linda. You are truly late. You're welcome. You're welcome, dear. Because in that brokenness, you have what? You have hope. You look at things differently. You see things differently. You approach things differently because there is this hope in that brokenness. The spiritual brokenness is the mother of all brokenness. And that is what is required of us. It is required of us to be broken. Broken. It is from there that you will see God. It is from that, in that state, that you will see the hand of God working. It is in that state you also allow Him work in you. He said, the pride I resist. So if we say pride is the opposite of brokenness, If you have pride, then God resists you now. Even in your brokenness, God resists you because He said the pride, He what? So that brokenness, we need it in us, in each of us. You need to be broken for Christ. You need to be broken, and that means also your character. What are people saying about you? Yes, we say, I don't care. Absolutely. Don't care about what people say, because people will always talk no matter what. But my dear people, there is a truth that we should not ignore. If all that people are saying about you everywhere is negative, then I'm sorry, there is a problem. Then there is a problem. If those ones that are ungrateful are saying, yes, fine, you know yourself, you know where you belong, you know the most important thing is what God says about you. But if the majority of people are saying the same things negative over about you, my dear, then you need to check it. Something is wrong somewhere. Yes, people will talk. And yes, no matter what you do, people will not be happy. But there is this thing, that reputation. If all that people around you see is this person I cannot trust, is this person I can never present to someone that will open door for him or that will give him or her a work. If this person with this character, with this hot temper, every small thing, then there is a problem. If this person that steals a lot, when comes things disappear, I cannot go and tell this guy I have someone that can manage um, his business. Reputation matters. It matters. So, my dear people, brokenness is not desired, but it is a necessity. It is a necessity that we need. It is a state to dwell in, like greatness is a state to dwell in. If you are not broken, you can't see the opportunities and you cannot make good use of the opportunities. If you are not broken, people will disappear from your side. If anyone is around you, they are there maybe for one or two things they will gain from you. You cannot buy loyalty. If you're buying loyalty, then know that they will definitely sell it out to the highest bidder. Imagine, I know people will say, I don't give a lot of giveaways, I don't spread money, so forth. Because I believe that is not what this platform is called, or what I'm called to do. Because what I'll just be doing is buying you, not helping, not building, not motivating, not nothing. It's just buying you. And then that means I'm just after what? Likes, followers, and so forth. No, I'm sorry. I'm here to do my father's business in a different way. I'm here to bring us back to the essence of things. And it doesn't, yes, we do giveaways, but it shouldn't be the reason why you remain here. It should at least be the one or two things that you pick up. The one or two things that might come your way that, be like, ah, yeah, I knew this, but the repetition has a way of helping us change us, mold us. If you want to change a habit, it is by constant repetition of doing things to avoid those bad habits and building new ones. That is how we get what they call indoctrinizing, or how should I put it, conditioning, or whatsoever you want to call it. But this is about learning what will help us to grow. So it's not only about giving you financial incentives so that you continue to be here, but it's also about giving you something that will help, something that you might heard a lot of times, but from a different perspective that might help. Because by the giving, again, if you find somewhere else, someone giving, won't you go? You will go. That's loyalty. That's loyalty that is for sale. If your loyalty is for sale, anywhere the highest bidder, that's where you will go and sell your loyalty. If people are around you for what they will get, my dear people, tomorrow if someone offers them differently, they are gone. They are gone. And so, what are you known for? In your broken situation, in your brokenness, how are you approaching life? What choices are you making? Those are the things that matters. The challenges, we need them. One time someone asked me, I think, was it one of our students, or I've forgotten anyway, but I was asked the question, and it's about God. Why, if we serve a loving God and God knows and so forth, He doesn't want us to suffer? I think it was a discussion with one of my students, um, and where I was teaching um, Bible course, and he was like, "Why is there so much suffering in the world and God is not doing anything about it?" I said, "Well, God has, and God is still doing. He placed us here." He said, "Yes, but we see the dying, see the hunger, see why is God not doing anything?" I said, "Well, if you decide to um, go and buy, if you go to the market and you want to buy something, you ask God what you want to buy." He said, "No." He said, "Okay. So you buy what you want to buy." He said, "Yes." The people that made those things that you are buying, you ask them where they get all those things from. He said, "No." But you still go and buy. Why? Because you need it. Fine. Okay. And then I said, it's a decision that you made. You need it. And so those people made a decision that we need it. And so they create the make and so forth. What I'm driving at is a choice. I gave an example. I said, just for example, you and your friends, you are going out and you come across, someone, a hungry person. You are in a group of friends. So this is a youth, teenagers. And I know how cool you guys want to be, when you are in a group. So imagine you are in a group and you come across someone like that, and one of your friends starts mocking that other person. What will you do? What will be your reaction? He was like, "Yeah, I'll say it's not good." I said, "Don't say it because I'm here. Don't give me socially, good answers. You think, oh my, she'll be happy with that. No. Be honest with yourself. You are in a group and you are going, and that there is a thing called peer pressure. So you are there. What will you do in that situation that a friend is mocking, a hopeless person, or let me say, someone that cannot defend themselves? What will you do? He thought and he said, "Well, I can't say." I said, "Exactly. You can't say until you're in that situation, right?" Now, God has given us this gift called will, and He has given us the opportunity to choose. He placed us here on this earth actually to bring His glory, to bring His glory through us. And He also put in some principles. And that principle is, like I said, bring His glory through us. Now, that means He needs our cooperation. He needs us to work with Him so that His glory, His full glory, will be seen here on earth. If we choose the other way, if we choose not to cooperate with him, obviously, what happens? His glory will not be seen. Is it that God is powerless? No, he's all powerful. He's almighty. He knows and he can do without us. But he has put in this principle that without man, he will not. It's a different thing from he cannot. He will not concerning the things of earth. And so he needs our cooperation. And so if you ask me why the hunger, why the this, why the that, it is the choice that we choose. Those people that they go to the mind, they do things, how they do it, what they're doing, is the choice. That people are dying because of the choices of another man, because of the greediness of another person. It's a choice. It's not something that God chose. It's not something that God wants. But we people choose it. And because He has made us here to have dominion, to have dominion over the earth. He said, you shall decree a thing and it shall come to pass. And so whatever you decree as man, it come to pass. Whatever we allow as man on earth comes to pass. We need to understand this. And so as I was talking, he was just there nodding, looking at me and said, I said, do you understand? Take, for example, your parent to say, no, don't do this. You sneak out and do what your parents told you not to do. Now, if the police now come and knock at the door, I mean, what should your parents do? Should the police arrest your parents? No. Why not? Yeah, because it's not their fault. Okay. It's the same thing. It's not God's fault that we are choosing to do evil to each other. That is not what the gift was meant for. It was meant to make us co-creators with Him. We needed that. For us to be co-creators, to differentiate us from every other creation. We need that will because He is God. He's a creator. And so He put that in us also. Why? That with Him, through us, we will be, having dominion on earth. But until we have this understanding, we will always continue to be pointing out, God, it's your fault. With this, with that, you don't do this, you don't do that. You have a choice. He presents everything. He said, life and death, choose. The choice is ours. If you choose life, He is with you. If you choose death, also, He is with you. You just accept your choice. So that is the thing with life. In the brokenness, it's only in that broken state. What is the brokenness actually? Is that you lay down your will. You lay down your will and you say, Daddy, it's only you. Have your way. You lay down your will. You say you lay aside every other thing. Jesus laid down His majesty and became man. Even as man, He never called and said, I am the prince of prince. Laid it down. Yes, there was time that He said, I am He. I am the Son that the Father is sent. But it was never arrogant. It was never out of boastfulness. It was to make known who He is. He was broken to the, like, we say He's the personification of meekness. In all His majesty, we never, nowhere in the Bible do we read that Jesus, even when He was brought to answer who He was, how did He say? To one, He said, well, I did not say it, you said it. The other, He said, why? Because He knew He was at the same level with that person. To answer his question, I am. So my people, brokenness is a requirement in this life. It is a requirement. And it is the complete opposite of pride. We need it. To answer the other question that my I think we have taken a lot of time. To answer that question that my student also asked, like why the suffering, why the pain, why all the I said, well, soldiers, how are they trained? If you take an untrained soldier and you put in the field, what happens? They have more chances of being killed very easily. Why? Because they have no tactics, no training, no survival training. So they have higher risk of being terminated immediately. And so they go through a lot of training depending on the functions that they need to. You have basic training for everyone. Oh. All soldiers, you have basic training. But the training that a commander gets is different from a training of a foot soldier. The training that the special forces get is completely different than even the commander. Commander is just in ranks. They've risen based on their works, achievement. They've come to that. But special force, they need different training altogether. And they go through a lot to have that label, special force. The challenges we face in life, it's like those training. They train us. Now, I'm not saying that all challenges are good. I'm not saying that we should invite challenges. No, that's what I'm saying. It is not desired, but it is necessary. We need challenges to help build us up, to help build a resilience, to help to, you know, polish, remove every dirt through the refining fire. Daniel and his friend went through the challenges and they stood their ground. They said, no, we will not defile ourselves. We will stay and choose what our God wants. Even in difficult situations, they still maintain their integrity. Their integrity. They still maintain their faith. And that put them through even more challenges. That put them through even more challenges, but they still maintain. It's the same thing. When you are and declare openly, I'm a child of God, the challenges you were seeing before will become like nothing to what you're about to face. And the training that you need to go through to rise spiritually, to grow, is different. But we need it because we are what? We are all soldiers, right? In the army of God. We are. And so we need those training to help us, to shaping us, to build us. We need sometimes some things. It will be like, God, why this? But in all, He knows best. In all, He knows what best. And that's why it is only in the place of brokenness we can come to Him and say, Daddy, it's only you. We need you. Help us. And let Him take over. That is where we become victorious. Right, as well. Thank you all. Our time is really fast spent. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you so much for um, tuning in. I really, really appreciate you all. I don't take it for granted. God bless you. I hope you have, you've been blessed one way or the other. Just remember, brokenness is not something we desire, but it is a necessity, especially in our, you know, walk with God. It is a necessity. God bless you. Please be nice to each other. Be kind to each other because you don't know who your helpmate or who your destiny helper is. I love you all. God bless you. God loves you more. Amen. Thank you all. I see you next week by His grace. Be blessed. Be safe.